paperless meeting using computer tablets. My question is, have there, was there any, security hardening performed on these tablets before allowing them to record their critical decision on such digital platform? We don't know the answer. And maybe due to the nature of critical discussion, we should follow what Russia, cabinet division methodology is being observed, where they still prefer to have a typical typewriter as the only mean of recording such communication, means maintaining air gap but using another way. This is what I want to say. So on the other side, if we fully maintain the air gap, then great initiative. The challenge is like data analytics and artificial intelligence are difficult to push as they need cloud level access to provide the best results. So practically, so similar to like ISO 27001, which is applicable for OT or information security, for OT cybersecurity, we need to follow, there is a well-known framework called IEC 62443. So this framework, OT cybersecurity framework, which is heavily being used already in Europe and US, where there is need to have a separate OT cybersecurity framework to be developed. And then proper security assessment should happen using OT vulnerability assessment scanners. By the way, they are available in the market in combination with OT firewall and data diodes. So because they have their different, dimensions, you will be surprised, in OT, out of, I will say, 50 protocols, TCPI is one of them, and rest are actually, the proprietary of different vendors like ABB and, Honeywell and etc. So they really require a special treatment. So this should provide actually real-time OT security operation center, where, similar to IT security operation center, like similar to IT SOC, and threats, OT related threats should be monitored in real time to enable a proactive threat hunting before they become headlines for the security breach. So in summary, what I want to say, last year I did the study that out of top 10 cybersecurity risks, manufacturing and energy, they are standing on number 2 or number 3. So this we never realized earlier, by the way, right? And you never know whatever happened, even in our country, in the name of normal power shutdown for 2 to 3 days. It could be a potential candidate for investigation under the context of cybersecurity threat. The problem is, at the national level, we don't have the capability, so we only go and utilize the traditional way of analysis, and then we say, the typical fog effect. And so in order to even do this analysis, unfortunately, that the plane is not available. First, you need the visibility that is missing. So once you don't have the visibility, then you are blind, and then you are actually, the elephant story. You are telling about the elephant in the blind village according to your blindness. So for some people, it is legs. For some people, it is big ears, but actually you don't have the overall, visibility to decide whether it was an operational outage or it was a cybersecurity outage. And I think the time has come, even our authorities, our regulators like NEPRA, they need to introduce some kind of framework which should be enforced, because some companies, yes, great, they are doing it themselves, but actually while following the best global practice, it should come from the government, and then we should follow like what State Bank is doing for all the banks. Thanks. Over to Qadir, to you.
Excellent points, Mehzad bhai. And I think in just as on a lighter note, I have asked the question from one government employee, a senior level employee, and I asked question that would you be able, would you be faced any type of cyber attack? तो उसने बड़ा अच्छा जवाब दिया मुझे कि यार नहीं, हम we cannot face the cyber attack because we do not have any type of cyber world in government organization, in my organization. So I am free for that. Anyways, jokes apart, I think we should be given award to Escape Talks and its management, because OT security is a real buzzword which has been identified and highlighted. I think for the first time in Pakistan, it is being discussed at this level, because OT security, I think Zakir Bhai has conducted a very excellent presentation, more than 30-40 minutes presentation regarding the depth of the OT security, and obviously as an expert, Mehzad has obviously expressing his views. So I think it would be a good chance for another conference makers. So I think moving towards Zeeshan. Zeeshan, it is said that there are only two types of companies. One who have been hacked and others who don't know. I think there is no other three type of company. Third type of company is nowhere. And weakest link in cyber security chain is we as a human. वो कहते हैं ना, वो कोई शेर है, परवरिश करता है जमाना बरसों, हादसा एकदम नहीं होता, मैं बहुत यूज करता हूँ, और बीइंग अ साइबर सिक्योरिटी चेन वीकेस्ट लिंक के तौर पे बहुत ज्यादा यूज करता हूँ. So Zeeshan, do you think the organizations are still creating, even due with this post-pandemic, with this situation of digital transformation, organization is creating information security awareness for their employees, customers, stakeholders, vendors, or everyone else? So do you think organizations are creating information security awareness? And obviously, do you think the organization have skilled and experienced workforce to aware this information security level? Please, Zeeshan.
Qadir is really like a challenging question. Though it's a very common question, but the importance of this question can never be denied. You know, whenever we discuss information security, it should be clear and understood that it is everyone's responsibility. And it means everyone's in the organization, not in the information security department. So you rightly said that humans are the weakest link in the chain. So it should be incorporated in the organization's culture. So now coming back to the question, that it's a human psyche. The end user receives the message, reads the message, and memorize it for a shorter period of time, then forget it. Okay, so it is required to communicate these messages, these information security awareness messages, to the intended audience on regular basis, just to keep them aware about the current risk, threats, and whatever in the market. So I believe that information security awareness is very much required and important. Although we have observed that information security breaches related to the phishing and social engineering attacks are decreasing with the help of robust and effective information security awareness program. However, there is still a need to work on it to improve it further. Let me answer the second part of this question. Considering the fact that we all are passing through the pandemic, and during this pandemic, financial industry is providing the solutions to the customer, the digital channels available to them for their ease and safety. But you know, when there are channels open, there are more risks available to the bad intenders or the malicious actors. So to cater this issue, we need to enhance the information security controls which require the skilled resources. And this is a very big challenge for us to identify and hunt the good resource in the market. There's a huge gap in between the demand and supply of the good resources, skilled resources, for which we all need to work together to develop a pool of resources with required skill set, and we should all work together. For this, everyone has to play his role to meet the requirement. It's over to you, Qadir. Thank you.
That's great. And just on a again lighter note, one of the I am just highlighting the security awareness level of one CISO, but not it is just a single type. That if I ask it the question that how much you know about the phishing in cybersecurity, so he is asking कि phishing से cyber security का क्या ताल्लुक है? वो मछलियां पकड़ना समझ रहा था. तो इसका मतलब है कि the level of awareness he has is awesome. So I am now going to as we all know that on cybersecurity is not just, we have discussed, it is not just about technology, it is not just about computer. It is from technology to people, information, system, process, all our physical surroundings. And you know, the traditional information security model that was technology focused, compliance based, perimeter oriented, aimed at securing the back office, now does not address the realities of today because of cloud, because of working anywhere else. And according to recent PwC survey, 47% of global CEOs are extremely now concerned about cyber threats as second biggest threat. And in this era, we know when even hunters are being hunted because the incident of the FireEye and every type of these incidents. So what roles do organizations need to play in managing the digital trust? How they can apply digital forensic and how can they respond to actual cyber incident? Because you have worked for cyber incident response. I know you have a practical experience, so you are a better judge to decide and advise the community. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Abdul Qadir sahab. First of all, yes, awareness is the first thing. And once the CEOs have recognized or they have appreciated that cyber security or cyber attack is the second biggest risk. So what is the first? What is the biggest risk? A risk that is even bigger than the cyber attack. That is the reputation risk. Because an organization losing its reputation will have to rebuild it. It will take them a considerable time to rebuild the reputation. And how does the reputation get harmed? Again, due to quality of services or not being able to protect the customer's information, the confidential information of the customer. Again, delivery of the business is also a part of it. So all of this again is covered in cybersecurity. So again, though we consider reputation as the biggest risk, but it is again dependent on cybersecurity also. With other factors, cybersecurity is a major factor in it. When we talk about the weakest link in an organization or in the cyber chain, yes, human is the weakest link. How so good controls do you have implemented? But again, a single mistake by a single person can can actually give you a disaster. So how to manage that? It is again, it is only the awareness. We have to spread awareness. We have to spread awareness from the very start till the very end. And awareness and training on incident response. Training of this, not only the CXOs who need to be trained on incident response. It is also the IT people and the business people who are down the line in your offices and your branches and your organization. Because if anyone faces an incident, it requires some knowledge to identify whether it is an incident or not, or how to respond to it, how to report about an incident, whom to report the incident. And this is actually important because if an administrator identifies that his server has been compromised and he starts working on it, this will actually destroy the evidence. Incident response requires them to know what is digital evidence, how it is managed, how is it preserved. And then again, their forensic analysis is also a specialized job. The system administrator, if not otherwise qualified, must not attempt to extract the forensic evidence or start working on it. So it is very important that we conduct sessions like awareness sessions. We conduct incident response sessions from top to the bottom of our organization. Special sessions need to be conducted, incident management sessions, incident handling sessions, incident handling exercises need to be conducted with the C and with the IT management. We have to, now I will go a bit more technical. We have to conduct red team and blue team exercises in our organizations. Red team are the attackers, blue team are the defenders. we have to identify have to have our own computer incident response teams, which include the people who identify that there is an attack coming up. People are there to support and mitigate and actually fighting the attack or putting your systems down, and the people who are involved in business continuity support, business who are responsible for managing the business. In as per our information from the industry, from the globe also, we have learned an organization where it took them 72 hours to decide that the system had a breach, it had been attacked, but they were not able to pull the system down from online because they had a very high dependency and so it is also very important that the business executives, the business heads, and the business leaders, they also know what are the steps they have to do, what if it is going to become worse in case they do not deal, in case they do not handle it in time. So again, my in incident response management, my opinion is that number one, you have to have awareness sessions. We have to have incident response trainings from top to the bottom. We have to have specialized incident response trainings for IT people, and information security people are not, they do not bond with knowledge within them. They have to conduct the exercises. These exercises, we have all seen military conducting the exercises. All militaries, they collaborate and they come across, and we have to collaborate amongst the industries. We have to collaborate amongst the organizations to play an attack, to simulate an attack, and to counter an attack. And this is the way we can exchange expertise. This is the way we can exchange knowledge. Forensics has its own rules and requirements. First of all, the forensic evidence is there for primarily used for investigation of the incident. How did the incident happen? And then it helps the organizations in understanding how to avoid such kind of a situation in the future. What were the fallbacks and what were the loopholes or what were the weaknesses that caused this attack to happen? And then the second part is the law enforcement part. If we want to prosecute the attackers, if we want to bring them to the court of law, then the evidence has to be preserved. The evidence preserved by a call person, yes, admitted to the court, but obviously, if it is not done by a law enforcement agent, then the court classification and the expertise of the person who has preserved the evidence. Again, training on incident response must include training on preservation of the digital evidence, training and presentation of the digital evidence. Digital evidence, once presented to the court, it has to fulfill the requirements, national forensic principles, and our local and domestic court requirements, the legal requirements and judicial requirements. So we have to have, again, trainings is the must. We have, and we must concentrate on people, process, and technology equally, because training the people, having no procedures laid down, it won't help us. Without training people, it won't help us. Processes, people with technology, this is, I would call it a troika. And this troika actually helps us developing our systems, developing our people, and having a resilient and robust business delivery system. Thank you, Qadir sir.
Great insights on, and you have merged cyber incident, digital forensic and all. So I think last but not least, 30-second message from everyone for future cybersecurity leaders. कुछ सिखाएं उनको, कैसे वो महजाद सहर बन सकते हैं, कैसे वो ज़ीशान सिद्दीकी बन सकते हैं, कैसे वो ऑन बन सकते हैं. 30 seconds each of you, and then I will conclude.
My message is, like, guys, if you really want to have a good experienced CISO, then don't actually, stay only for one industry. You should not be having a stagnant, work, just working for one vertical. Let's say the whole year, the whole age is being spent just serving the banking industry. So like my example is that I went through financial industry, cyber security, then also telco security, and now OT security. And I don't think so there's the fourth one. So having all these type of dimension part of your overall experience will really enable you to actually challenge whether there is a vendor, there's a third party, or internal staff to give them diversified knowledge with the proper solutions. Yeah, thanks.
Okay, I agree with Mehzad sir. Really, to become a future leader or chief information security officer, I would suggest my colleagues and juniors and the newcomers to the information security that please stick with the basics. Stick to the basics. Learn and apply. Like attend some international conferences, international workshops, seminars to learn about the world, not only specific to some industry. And always try to learn new things. Like cybersecurity is an emerging, evolving area. So learn and apply, and people management and communication skills are very important. It's just a 2 cents from my side.
On is here.
Yes, I'm here. I'm sorry. Actually, my internet was giving us a problem, so I have turned off the video.
Last 30 voice.
Yes, thank you so much. So my area, my humble request to the new joiners, to all the people. First of all, we have to have a lot of study. The information security is all about continuous study, continuous improvement, continuous learning. So having, as Zeeshan said, basic concepts very clear, very clear basic concepts in all the areas which become a part of the information security, and then continuous learning and continuous study. You give a break, then you start losing your ground. Thank you so much.
Great points, great points. And थोड़ा सा मैं अपने 2 cents देने की कोशिश करूंगा. And I am like because ये सिर्फ मैसेज है आप तमाम नए ज्वाइनर्स के लिए और नए लोगों के लिए, इस नेशन के लिए भी. जिस तरह फिजिकल सिक्योरिटी, जस्ट लाइक फिजिकल सिक्योरिटी आपकी आर्मी करती है, इस तरह आप ये समझ लें कि आप भी सवाब कमा रहे हैं, आप लॉजिकल सिक्योरिटी प्रोड्यूस करेंगे. आप लॉजिकल सिक्योरिटी, बस फर्क सिर्फ ये होगा कि वो फिजिकली शहीद भी हो जाते हैं, आप शायद जॉबों से शहीद हो जाएंगे और नौकरियों से, लेकिन इसके अलावा आप जो हैं वो वाकई सवाब का काम भी करेंगे. तो पैशन ये रखें. एंड लास्ट बट नॉट लीस्ट, साइबर क्रिमिनल्स लव क्राइसिस. So be prepared to secure you, be prepared to secure your digital infrastructure in the face of this level of threat. So thank you very much, Skep Talks, and thank you very much, Ayaz. Over to you. Any question, feel free to ask.